So the other day I'm going through my Twitter feed and up pops this super old clip. Remember back in the day they used to play the skins game? Back in the classic era they would play it in such a special way. Only few people can make this sound, this pure, dead, solid, perfect sound.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
I want to help you get that sound a few times too. You're going to hit it really laser straight and long. Hey, this is Steve from HitItLonger.com. If you get some value out of this video, please like and subscribe to support the channel. Share this video with somebody and leave a comment down below. Now let's talk about how Trevino made that sound. What we're talking about here is maximum ball compression. Now, ball compression, of course, the given, the constant, is that he must have struck that dead in the center of the club face, right on the center of mass of that club face. But there was more to it than that. You've hit probably some shots in the sweet spot and they don't sound, and I bet they don't feel like the feeling I'd like to have you experience. So let's take a look at some of those details. First, you know that in this video, Trevino, as with most tour professionals, he bottomed out in front of the ball. Now, I've got a 9-iron here. I would want my divot to start about maybe 1.5 inches in front of the ball, and then go to about 7 inches in front of the ball. So 5 or 6 inch, about the size of a dollar bill, is what you want your divot. So it's going to enter the grass for the first time right there, which means it's catching the ball clean, very end of the downstrike, catching the ball clean. The ball actually leaves the face before the grass is interacted with. In fact, the collision with the ball will deflect the club head down into the grass to make its divot. But you want to make that divot in front like that. So you will catch it with just a little bit of downstrike. I want you to throw the notion of hitting down out the window. You're never, with that attitude, that approach, you're going to make that sound that Trevino made and hit shots like he did with the idea that you're going to hit down on the ball. Bear with me here. Instead, I want you to think of sweeping the grass. In a 9-iron's case, I want you to concentrate on 4 or 5 inches sweeping this thing in front. Now, what we're after, our goal at impact. A lot of you out there, you've got no forward lean, very little forward lean on the shaft, sometimes even a backwards lean. Now, what this will do, this actually reduces compression because you are adding what we would call spin loft. So we get into a couple of terms called dynamic loft and spin loft. Start with static loft. Static loft is simply the measured angle of the club. This is a 9-iron, it's got whatever degrees it's got built into the club, can't change it, can't bend it. Now, the dynamic loft is the moment of impact. What kind of loft is showing to the ball at that moment? Okay, so that's dynamic loft. The spin loft, however, is what produces that smash factor, that ooh factor, where the shot just goes right into your heart and sounds like that Trevino shot. It gets hit dead, solid, flush, perfect. For that, we need to reduce the spin loft. So how would we do that? We would need to have more forward lean, okay? Which you can see, the more forward lean that I have, the more I reduce the dynamic loft. There's less and less and less loft showing to the ball right now. Then if I was back here, that would be a lot of loft showing to the ball. So, but if you combine that forward lean with the downwards chop, you're simply not going to reduce the spin loft. The spin loft's going to be the same. You reduce the dynamic loft chop it into the ground. You'll certainly get a low launch angle, but you won't necessarily compress it more. Instead, what you'd like to do is the feeling of the forward lean with more of a sweeping feel. So if I have the club leaning forward, but I more sweep into it, man, that feels amazing. It's a different feel and a different sound. It's a deeper sound, a deeper booming feel, and we really get a lot of what we'd call smash factor. In this case, I shallowed my angle attack down to about 1 degree downwards, but I had a smash factor there on a 9-iron of 1.42. Now that's just out of this world. That's because I just did everything that I was telling you, arrived at impact with forward lean, but I'm abandoning the idea of chopping down on it. And I'm going to show you how I can automatically, and you can automatically come into this thing more sweeping. Again, still controlling the low point, about 4 inches in front of the ball with a 9-iron, 3 inches with the 7-iron, 2 inches with a 5-iron, 1 inch with a 3-iron or a hybrid or a fairway wood, and then a couple inches behind it with the low point on a driver. This is all based on ball position and the width of the feet. Now, how am I going to encourage a more sweeping strike without bottoming out behind it? Well, that's going to be in the idea that I'm going to throw the club up and to the left. Now, that's my feeling from the top of the swing, is that I'm going to turn and throw the club upwards. We're going to hit compression by attempting to hit upwards, not downwards. Your throw, instead of hitting down, turn and hit up. Pretend that there's like a golf ball on like a 5-foot batting tee, and you're going to turn and whoo! I want you to whack it straight up in the air with an uppercut that goes around to the left. Let's look at it from this angle. Instead of hitting down, which defeats the purpose entirely, because hitting down and focusing on making a divot really suspends the body's turn. It causes you to be armsy, which makes it a self-fulfilling prophecy that you'll just chunk behind the ball anyway. You're not going to get ball compression this way. Compressing the earth is not the same as compressing the ball. I want you to turn and throw the club up in the air to the left. Fling it up into the air to the left, like there's a piñata or a balloon over here that you want to pop, and I want you to snap the wrists right out there. So when you do that, you're going to get the marriage of lowering the spin loft, because you have forward lean, but not the proportionate amount of chop. You have more of a shallow sweeping that still bottoms out in front. Let's check this out. Now, my whole intent on that swing was to turn and fling the club upwards to the left. I had no notion of hitting down on that shot, and yet it came out very solid with forward lean. We're looking for what, about 4.5 inches of forward lean on a 9-iron, something like this. Oh, I don't know, that's something like maybe 12 to 14 degrees or so, if you were to measure the angle. Bottoming out in front, but not chopping down, but instead feeling like you're sweeping and hitting left. Let me show you how you would actually maximize the smash factor or the compression of a golf ball. Either I would take a lower lofted club. Remember, compression equals spin loft. If I lower the spin loft, I increase the compression. It's almost like E equals MC squared. I've got the ball sitting on a driver tee now. I would compress the ball the most if I can get the dynamic loft at impact like this lower. If I can get it to match with the making an up strike, and I can get the two the closest, the angle of attack and the dynamic loft as close as I can, that's how I'm going to compress it. So hitting up on it with a forward leaning shaft. You could actually try this. If you do this softly enough, you'll get the feel that you're after. You're hitting up on it with a forward leaning shaft. Oh man, that feels amazing. Now, of course, the ball's going to go high because you've got more dynamic loft from catching it on the way up. So it goes high. But since the handle's forward and the angle of attack is closer to matching that dynamic loft, you're going to get more smash factor, more compression, a better feel. This will give you at least the initial feeling. What is it supposed to feel like to pure an iron? Do it miniature like this first. You don't have to use that high of a tee, but put it on a little tee. Lean the shaft forward and try to make a more of a sweeping stroke at first, almost trying to hit up on the ball, making your follow through go up and to the left like you're scooping up on it. Like that. Oh, that's the feeling that Trevino had in that video. That was unbelievable how good that felt. That is the feeling that keeps me coming back tomorrow to hit some more golf balls. It's just, ooh, yes, right? So I want you to get that more feeling more often coming up this year. This is the formula to do it. You lower spin loft, lowering dynamic loft, but don't hit down, hit up and to the left instead. Give that a try. I want you to leave your comments down below. If you have any questions or you try this, come back and interact with the video and leave a comment down below, because I want to hear what you guys have to think about this. It's radically different than much you might hear on a lot of other instructional channels. Hey, thanks for supporting the channel all these years, all you OG followers. Really appreciate it. Head over to my website if you're new and check it out. All my endorsed products and hundreds of more free articles and videos that you can watch and read, basically for zero. And hey, if I don't see you in the next video, I hope I see you longer and straighter down the fairway. Everybody take good care.